Hey everybody, Cinephile Mike is here, and it is day 96 of Award Season Reviews, Season 3. 97 reviews coming at you in 97 days, covering many of the films up for awards recognition this season. I'm so excited. We are in the last two films. Just let me say a quick thank you. I'm sure I'll bit more into this tomorrow. But this has been quite the entertaining award season, more entertaining than we've had in a while. Now, these last two films I'm talking about, one is streaming, one is still in theaters. So all the information I am providing to you, I can say is current within the last 48 hours. And this, as if you've been with me, is the box office response, the critical response, predictions, nods, wins, and always these reviews are spoiler free. Also, make sure you're checking out my website, cinephilemike.com, for lots of great additional award season content. So, it's our last theme week, our 14th, and it is the rest of the best. This last batch of films were and are nominated for at least one Oscar. So, I have hit every Oscar film this season, save the last one, which we'll get into that little known guy, singer, tomorrow. But for today, we're going to go international one more time, and I am talking about movie and Nordisk Film Distribution's The Girl with the Needle. Co-written by the film's director Magnus von Horn with Linnea Langebeck Knudsen, during its limited release, the film, which came out in December, made $108,500 domestically and an additional $374,260 internationally, for a worldwide total of $482,760. Critically, the film is fresh on both sides with 102 critic reviews giving it a score of 93%, and from over 100 audience reviews, the film has a score of 84% on the popcorn meter. Award season wise, the film is currently nominated for one Oscar, Best International Feature. Additionally, amongst the current 22 award wins and 38 nominations from varied festivals, award shows, and critic circles, the film was nominated for Best Non-English or International Film at the Golden Globes and the Satellite Awards, and it was named one of the top 5 international films by the National Board of Review. In addition to all of its other nods and wins, the film was also nominated for the Palme d'Or at the Cannes Film Festival. So, what is this film about? Well, we are set in Copenhagen in post World War One, and we have Caroline, played by Vic Carmen Soon. Working as a seamstress in a factory making uniforms for the front lines, she is struggling. You can even see the looks of struggle on her face in this poster. She's evicted from her apartment, she can't afford her rent, and her husband, serving in the military, has not written, so Caroline believes that he is dead, but without a confirmation, she is not eligible for widow compensation. Now, through a series of events, she becomes involved with her boss and the owner of the factory, Jorgen, played by Joachim Schellstrup, who seems to genuinely care for her, and as they go in their relationship, he impregnates her. Now, believing that there might be a chance for a life, of course, what would happen? Her husband, Peter, played by Beset Zekiri, returns home, and we see that in the war he was terribly deformed, wearing a mask akin to the Phantom of the Opera on the lower part of his face. Convinced that she will be better off with Jorgen, Caroline throws him out and goes back to Jorgen. However, he proposes and takes her to meet his mother, but she will not have any of this. We're having a few echoes of Honora here, quite interestingly enough. And so Jorgen's mother fires her from the factory. It is a family business, and Jorgen does not step up to do anything. You know, he chooses money over woman that he supposedly loves. After this, believing there is no option, Caroline plans to abort her child, but is unsuccessful in her attempt. And as she is attempting this, she is stopped and saved by Dagmar, played by Trine Deerholm, and her daughter, Irena, played by Avo Knox Martin. Now, Dagmar convinces her to keep the child and, presents her with options to raise it, or Dagmar says, you can come visit me at my sweet shop and I help women like yourself find proper homes for their babies. So Caroline weighs her options. Shortly after this, she also sees that Peter has now joined the circus and going to see him. They tenuously get back together, but this is not without its struggles. Peter has some severe PTSD and manic episodes from serving in the war. Caroline gives birth to the baby, and while Peter is willing to raise the child with her, this is not the life that she wants. There's a lot of things going on, and so Caroline decides to give the child up for adoption, seeking out Dagmar. However, she doesn't have the money that she needs to pay Dagmar for her services, so she offers to help, and Dagmar hires her as a wet nurse for incoming children. However, there aren't always children that often, and Caroline still needs to expel her milk, so Dagmar suggests, well, you can feed my daughter, Irena. I think I need to point out the fact that Irena is 7, so Dagmar having her 7-year-old daughter breastfeed off of Caroline is a little bizarre. But Caroline, out of options, moves in to the basement of the shop, lives with Dagmar. Irena feeds Irena when she's hungry. And, Dagmar seems to be helpful and wanting to bond with Caroline. And look, now she has a friend to abuse some ether with. Things seem to be moving along until a new child is brought to be put up for adoption. Dagmar takes the child and, promises to find it a good home, as she did for Caroline's baby a while back. However, the arrival of this child brings certain things to a halt, and certain elements start to come to light. And Caroline will actually see that not everything is as it seems to be, and this will have some severe consequences. Look, I have to say, this film is quite a head trip. I mean, I left a few details out of the plot, but that's okay. I leaned into the primary plot points, and I have to say, there were a couple of moments when I was like, uh-oh, is this film introducing too much? But really, it smartly doesn't. The key plot points are deeply investigated and followed through. The secondary plots are addressed in just the right amount without going overboard and without cheating us. As to say, that is a strength of the screenplay. Von Horn, in his third film, has crafted a disturbing psychological thriller that, I will be honest, I did not know about it much at the time of watching it, but I actually learned that this film is based on a historical figure that is not a positive person in our history. And so that even made this film more chilling when I reflected on it after the fact. Given the situations that we are provided here, it's in 1990 Copenhagen, it's post World War One. Even though it's many, many years after the fact, it kind of gave me some vibes of like Les Miserables, except Les Miserables, maybe because it was a musical, seemed more manageable than some of the circumstances and situations that are happening here in The Girl with the Needle. Van Horn really isn't afraid to dip into the truly devilish lives of those in poverty stricken post World War One communities who will do anything they need to do to survive. This film is not easy to watch, and there are truly cringe inducing moments. But I have to say, it's stunningly shot. Working with his cinematographer, Mikhail Dymek, the film is shot in crisp black and white and in a 3:2 ratio, so it really creates this more intense, focused look. And with some of these elements, kind of think, if you were trying to compare, you're going to compare like a David Lynch film merged with like Gothic tale, kind of akin to what they did with Nosferatu this award season. Now, the performances are incredible. Soon in the lead role delivers a performance that is both subtle and heartbreaking for the majority, because she's just this poor, put up on woman. But when she has moments to explode, there is such raw energy behind this, you almost feel like you've been punched in the face. She really lets us in to feel those struggles and gives this lived in performance. And just as effective, Direhom's chilling Dagmar, I mean, while in a supporting role, kind of steals this film. The actress has these really wide eyes which pop in the black and white like in a horror film, and even in moments that seem genuine, you're kind of creeped out, which is just what makes this thriller that much more effective and pulse along. These two really tell this story that goes dark and sad, but look, life isn't always happy, and this film is going to take us there. And to help get us in that mood, I'd say Frederic Hoffmeyer's haunting score is almost like screams in the night to really get that level of discord that you need to feel when watching a film like this. So, will The Girl with the Needle win Best International Feature? No, it will not. However, for everything it does, it is well deserving of the nod, and I have to say, I think there's one other category that this film was kind of ignored in, and that is hair and makeup. When we see Zakiri's Peter return from the war and we see the disfigurement, it's incredible. And it's right up there with some of the work that we saw in The Substance and A Different Man. So I think that was at least two films of the five that are nominated this year. And so clearly you could do the math because there's only five. And I said, don't take out A Different Man or The Substance. So of those remaining three, there were two I would have happily swapped The Girl with the Needle for one of them. Look, The Girl with the Needle is a powerful, strong four-star film. I'm glad we're ending with the stronger ones. If you haven't seen it yet, it is currently streaming on Mubi. All right, so there we go. 96 down, one more to go. Can you believe there's only one more day to go? As always, if you like what you heard here, please click that subscribe button. It's right there. It's right there. Just click that. Like the video, share the video, tell someone about it, spread the word. Even though award season is almost over, that doesn't mean I'm going anywhere. I have great stuff that will still be coming up. Again, remember to check out my website, cinephilemike.com, for all the great award season content and so much more. And until tomorrow, when we wrap for our season finale, this is Cinephile Mike saying take a break and watch something new.